What were we going about?
Nazis built the pyramids, the aliens started the Holocaust. It's just...
We're talking about serial killers today. They're ghosts.
It's only going to get worse from here. Oh, man. All right, so I think today everybody just needs to prepare. Go ahead, bust out the 3D Doritos, get your get your Skip-Its, grab you a Bop It if you need to.
Oh, that's what you meant when you said.
Oh, yeah, bust out the fucking NES with Super Mario 3 or get you some Duck Hunt. We're going to be talking about nostalgia today, but before we get into that, I'm your host, Gage, along with my beautiful, wonderful, absolutely adorable co-host,
Sage.
And yeah, we're going to be taking you back today. We're going to be talking about some good old-fashioned fucking nostalgia, where they're trying to bring it back, everything except for the fucking way of life of finances, where $20 could actually get you somewhere. That's the only downside. So where do we want to kick this one off? How are we wanting to do this?
Nostalgically.
Nostalgically.
I don't know, how'd they kick things off back then? I'm trying to think of something funny that they would... Like, what was it a good opener back then?
I'm not really sure. I mean, it was all over the fucking place. I know things were a lot more colorful. I know clothes were a lot more baggy and made noise when you walked.
Well, I'm sure they do that. It's just you got bigger. Like, of course clothes were baggier than we were children.
No, I'm talking about like Jinkos, pipes, and stuff like that, where the jeans were actually fucking meant to be baggy around you.
Yeah, I know.
And then you had the fucking windbreakers. Everybody had a windbreaker outfit.
Yeah.
I think that, like, what the fuck was the point of the windbreaker outfit?
Noisy shit.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, fucking just, really. I don't know why, but I gotta be, like, really close to hear myself.
Mm.
So that's weird. And that's a little too high. All right. Yeah, honestly, I wish that we could go back on a lot of stuff. I think honestly we moved too fast to really enjoy what we had at that time.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that before. You and I, we've been like, we just humanity just progressed too quickly. So now we're just trying to go back and feel nostalgic. I'm not like millennials, man. We all don't want to grow up. I mean, like, we don't want to do all the things that adults are supposed to do. Just like a lot of us are skipping our midlife crises and going straight into granny and grandpa mode, just like, I just want to chill. I want to be relaxed, like, let me garden, let me do my crafts, and like, let me just tinker in my garage and stuff. Like, none of us are going out midlife crisis partying our asses off and stuff, because we're like, who has time for that? And that just sounds exhausting. We're so tired.
Yeah, I spent my 20s doing a lot of that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that was fun. Now I'm more of like, all right, what can I do as a little project around the house? What can I do to, like, I'm more of like, I want to stay in now. Like, give me some old cartoons.
We are in our early 30s. We should be out partying. We should be, like, going through our midlife crisis, prime of our lives, But we're just like... It's like, let me crochet.
Yeah, because I'm okay with just staying in and doing little projects at home and stuff like that, instead of, like, it's cheaper where I can go spend $25 on a 30-pack of beer and come back home and sit around, drink, and do my own little crafts and tools and stuff like that, play some video games, have some fun, and be able to enjoy myself more than going out and actually dealing with all that shit. But it's really nice though, because like I said, like you give me some old cartoons, I'll fucking pop them on to show the kids, but I'm sitting here just like, and I'm just like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, 2 hours later you realize the kids left their room 3 hours ago.
Yeah,
it's just been you watching cartoons for the last 5 hours.
Yeah, and then especially like seeing all them old commercials that people would pop on your reels and shit, and I'm just like, damn, I remember some of those. Like, way to take me fucking back, man. But I did hear something the other day that really made me think about it, and you guys can find it out there on your reels or look it up if you want to. But I heard this, and it really made me think like, that we have been looking at the whole midlife crisis all wrong. We've been thinking like, yeah, it's more when you're in your 40s or 50s is when you're supposed to get it, because they say that the average age of people that live is about 80 to 100 years old, and that's why they say about 40, 50 is when you start having a midlife crisis. But in all actuality, the statistics numbers of people who live in their 90s to 100s is very fucking low. It's not a very common thing.
Like, I've been knowing people killing off in their 60s and 70s.
Exactly, and that's why they were saying that it's actually more of like your 30s is when you actually experience your midlife crisis, which statistically is very accurate, because you get people who go through a divorce, go through all this life-altering things in their 30s because
they live too quickly.
Yep, they realize that that's not where they wanted to be, or they're wanting to take on something new, and it's mostly people who have hit their 30s that are like, no, I want to change it. And then they were saying that, yeah, most people die when they're in their 60s, 70s. If they make it to 80s, that's amazing, but yeah, you're more likely to die in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, so your midlife crisis would be anywhere
Especially
from 28 to 39.
Especially our generation, man.
Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense, because, shit, that's when your body starts wearing down real fucking fast. That's where you start to fucking have to do a lot more adult shit. Like, you really have to put in a lot more effort to get anywhere.
Yeah, because I think that's the age where you realize you are not that young person anymore. Like, you aren't them. And you're desperately trying to be them again. And that's the crisis.
Yeah.
Where you're not. You are physically and mentally not that person, but you're desperately trying to be that person. And that's where you get the crisis part. But I feel like a lot of our generation doesn't want to be that freaking young person. Because that young person wasn't in control of their life, man. And we're tired of that. We want to be in control of our lives. So I think we're just a lot more aware than the generation before us of that stuff. So I think we're not going through midlife crises as badly.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm not saying some people aren't going through a crisis and going out and partying and fucking their lives up. I'm just saying a lot of us kind of like are really okay with being an older person and not going out and going nuts and stuff.
Yeah, and that's where I think that if you're going to be doing that kind of stuff, just really think about it. Like, if you are truly unhappy with something, see what you want to do and see how you can accomplish it. Because in the end, it may be something that you wish you could always do, but just because you always wanted to do it doesn't mean you are physically, mentally, or financially capable of achieving your goal. Not saying that I'm telling you that you'll never get it, but sometimes those are just out of your reach. So try to think about it and find something that you can do.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you're not saying you can't ever do it or anything like that, but sometimes you got to realize, like, is that wish or that goal even at the best interest of you?
Yeah.
Is that a good goal to have? Sometimes, like, if it's something that you can't reach, that you won't ever healthily be able to reach, then no, it's probably not,
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not a good goal for you to even have. Yeah, and I'm also not saying that going out at all is a bad thing either. I'm not saying if you go out and party, you're having a midlife crisis in your 30s. No, I'm not.
If you're
not saying that
55 going to a goddamn club that's meant for 20-year-olds, sitting there trying to think you can dance on the dance floor, yeah, you shouldn't be out there.
Yeah, I mean, unless that is your vibe and you're, like, not intoxicated. Like, you're a good fucking dancer. That's what I'm getting at.
To me, you basically like, okay, I'm going to the elementary school and hanging out with the kids because I'm the cool one. I've got the finance. Like, come on.
Yeah, like, know your crowd. I got you there.
Yeah.
Know the crowd. I got you.
Don't be that creepy person there just like,
what if
I
it's
can
like
keep up
your
with
local
y'all.
dive bar and most of the people there are also 55? Get out there, man.
Yeah, go have fun, because they're going to be able to relate with you more than a fucking 21-year-old that's going to be like, Oh, like you got AARP? That's so great. Like, what's that like?
What even is that?
Yeah, like, is that a type of car? Like, man. And so just know your crowd. Just be okay with your age. That's something too. Just be happy with where you are. Yeah, did a lot of us millennials grow up real fast? Fuck yeah, because our parents made us. That was fucking. We're kind of.
I feel like that's the thing too, though, is that a lot of people our age are hanging out on purpose with an older generation, because we also did when we were fucking kids, man. How many of y'all were 15 in the back of a car of some like 28-year-old fucking drug dealer or some shit? You're like not a drug dealer, but like, you know, some dropout dude who just like, why are you with them right now? I knew way too many of those chicks, man.
I was gonna say I've known tons of people like that too, and that was just like, what the fuck,
like at the time I was just like, ew, like how could you be hanging out with a grown up like that? But now that I am a grown up, I'm like, how could that dude be having a bunch of fucking high schoolers in the back of his car?
Yeah,
like, that fucking creep.
Yeah, and that's where I've always felt that if you were that type of guy, you should have been shot in the face. Just saying.
I mean, like I don't remember the girls ever saying the dude did anything with them. I mean, like, but
it's still fucking creepy.
It is still creepy. I don't give a shit if he's not doing. Well, he's not doing anything. I don't give a shit. Yeah. You are 15. You better not be hanging out with no freaking 28-year-old dude.
Well, and I never understood that, because it was just like, well, he's able to get me this. They're able to do that for me. I'm like, oh, that's great. Like. It's one thing where I had friends that would buy me alcohol. Like, okay, cool. So I can go back and hang out with my friends to fucking drink it. But I never fucking, like, went out of my way to purposely hang out with these guys all the fucking time and make that my whole fucking deal.
No, these chicks did. They didn't want to hang out with people our own age. They wanted to go hang out with the cool, older people.
And that's also where they say, well, girls just mature faster than boys. True, but the thing is, boys are living in the moment a lot of the time to where they're just having fun with what they've got.
Like, that's, yeah, exactly. Girls mature faster than boys. So that 28-year-old boy thinks he's got a shot with this 15-year-old girl. That's disgusting.
It is. That is very disgusting.
And he's an adult. Like, he should know better. Well, the girl should know better. Yeah, she should. She's a fucking idiot. That's what I was like when I was a kid. I was just like, you're a fucking idiot,
No,
girl.
If you say a 15-year-old girl should know better, then you are truly fucking stupid, because the child is not going to know any better than what she wants, that she thinks she can, that person can do. I'm not going to say it's just the girls, because guys do that shit too.
Oh, yeah, they did.
But that's what I'm just saying, is like, they're stupid. They think they know everything and they don't.
They really do
and
they know everything.
Trust me, I was one of those. I thought I knew a lot of shit, and then as I got older, I realized how fucking stupid I was.
Yeah.
But
well, me too, man. I thought I knew everything. Turns out I did. Because I thought those girls were idiots. I'm like, why are you doing this shit, man?
Yeah, so
that dude, like, you're gonna end up in a fucking ditch one of these days because he's gonna fucking do something.
Yeah, but here's the biggest thing though, is like when you run into these girls nowadays, like, well, I've ran into some, you've ran into some, and it's usually like, man, I missed out on my childhood. I really wish I could go back. Yeah, she ended up
marrying him and having 5 million kids.
And what I'm saying is, like, it's one of those, like, you tried to rush yourself to grow up so fucking fast that you missed out. And us millennials really had no choice on a lot of that. Like, if you didn't have a good family or good finances and stuff, you were kind of forced to fucking grow up real quick. There was no in between. It was either you were considered a nerd, which nowadays I guess is very fucking popular, which I'm just like, holy shit, when I was in school, if you were a nerd, you were outcasted, you were fucking beat up all the time.
The nerds are inheriting the earth.
Yeah, now
it's the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck happened? And it literally shifted right after you graduated school. Everything shifted then. I was like, what the fuck?
Because the nerds came into power after that.
But that's my thing, though, is like, we had to grow up real fast. We had to do a lot of things that our adult figures were telling us that we needed to do. We needed to start doing this. We need to start doing that. Like, let go of all this childish bullshit and move on and grow up already. And that was shit that I was hearing at 14, 15, 16. And I'm sitting here just like, well, fuck. Now I'm looking back like, man, I missed out on so much because I had to fucking go out and do that.
Grow up.
Now, I'm not saying don't get a job. By all means, get a job, because if you're a teenager and you get a job and you're actually able to hold on to that fucking money and use it for whatever you want,
congratulations.
Fucking do it, all right? But if you're not, I understand. you don't want a job because you still want to live.
I'm also like, oh, like, I want you to go get a job, kid. But also, like, you were saying, like, if you can hang on to that money for as long as fuck it, man. Go live your life, man. If you got a job and you're making money and you're a teenager, go spend that money. Go have fun. Live your life, man.
No, yeah.
We're saying you're saying the same shit they said to us. You're saying grow up.
No.
Save that money. You're going to need it later in life. Yeah, you are. But you're a teenager, man. If you got money and you want to go do something with it, go live your life.
Okay, that's...
Go have fun.
That's not what I was meaning.
Because you're not going to be able to when you're grown up.
What I was meaning was that if you don't have bills, fucking have fun with it. If you're wanting to buy something really nice, save up.
Yeah,
like
I see what you mean.
I'm not saying like save your money and keep it all hidden away so when you become an adult you can get you a house. The fucking housing market nowadays is fucking ridiculous. No, so good luck.
Just rent forever. Rent forever.
Yeah.
Don't buy your own place.
And if you get a slumlord, man, do whatever you got to do to fucking make that work. But just rent. It's a lot easier, a lot less hassle. As long as you're willing to follow their rules and all that kind of shit, and make sure that you make your payment on time each month, and then fucking there you go.
Yeah, unless you really do have a decent amount of money and you're buying an old house, not like centuries old. I'm not saying old. I'm just saying one built in the early 2000s, maybe in the 90s, where they actually still built good houses. Do not buy a brand new house that's been made in the last 5 years.
I've actually been seeing that too on a lot of the market, that a lot of videos of the new housing market where they're cutting corners.
They are cutting so many. They're making cardboard houses, literally. Like don't buy any brand new houses.
And that was shit that we were actually scared of when we were kids, hearing about houses and stuff of like, oh man, they're making all these houses look the same and it's just going to be cardboard houses. Well, now they're fucking doing it.
They literally are cardboard houses now.
And it's fucking shit quality. It's not the greatest. Oh yeah, it's got all the technology bells and whistles. Oh, that's great, but there's no insulation. There's no
there's no like structure to this house. It is all bells and whistles. There's no foundation.
Yeah, and that's
they're just sticking some sticks in the mud and they're putting a computer in it.
But all I'm saying is, like, if you're a teenage kid, man, hey, fucking save some money up. Always have a little bit squirreled away. You don't have to spend it all, but
don't go blow your whole paycheck, kid.
Yeah, like if you make, say you're a teenager working at Brahms, we'll say that, like, because you can start there at 14. Yeah.
We're also in Oklahoma, so.
Right. So if you have a Brahms around there, that's great.
Some of the outer-staters might be like, what the fuck is Brahms?
Brahms has some of the best fucking ice cream in the goddamn world. I don't care who you are. No one has been able to beat their quality of ice cream, because that's made right here in the great state of Oklahoma, where they do it all by hand. All right, so, but if you really can make like a $80 paycheck, take $10, $20 bucks.
$80, Jesus.
Well, it depends on how many hours they work. And after taxes and all that. Take literally $20 and put it aside and use the rest of that money for your gas or your food or whatever the hell you want to buy it on. I don't give a shit. You go crazy with that. But don't touch that 20, because what if you were a girl that was like, oh man, I really want to go and get this. Oh, I got some money saved away. I can go get it. Mm-hmm. Or if you're a boy that's like, hey, I want to take this person out on a date. You got some money to do that shit. Like, I didn't know that until I got into my early 20s, and that's where I really fucked up on a lot of shit. But I'm telling you now,
man, a lot of these poor kids these days got fucking car payments.
A lot of these kids got fucking $1,200 cell phone payments.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I had a penny phone, all right?
Yeah, but they got no choice, though, man, because that's the only thing available to them. Mm-hmm. And, who are their parents? Fucking millennials. So they're just like, I'm not fucking paying for that. I had a penny phone.
I will say this, all of us millennials need to really fucking think about this for a second. Stop trying to give your kid everything you didn't have. I get it, I do, but you're gonna make you're gonna make these kids so self-reliant on freebies that they're not gonna know what it's actually like to work for shit like what we had to. Where we had to work the shitty ass jobs like McDonald's and stuff at not no $15 an hour.
Oh my god!
to fucking work our asses off to get the money that we had to buy the shit that we wanted. Like, you want to spoil your kid here and there, that's fine. Like, give them that, but make them work for it too. Like, hey, if you want this is what you got to do for it. Kind of give them a little bit of structure. Shit, when I was 14, I was having to be forced to go lay tile and shit, and I fucking hated it. I hated going out every morning laying tile.
What a trade to have as a teenager.
Yeah, man. Going to lay tile at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning to go do all that shit and be fucking beat, tired. But now I have a trade that I can go anywhere in this country to do. I have something I can, no matter where I go, I can fucking make that my job.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of some of my little cousins who have trades and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, trades. Learn trades. They will fucking help you out a lot.
Yeah, you're going to go places if you have at least 1 or 2 trades under your belt, man.
I will say this, nerds. I love my nerds. I've been a nerd my entire life. I'm not a massive geek, but I am a nerd. I do like my nostalgic shit, and I like video games. I like stuff like this and that. But for people that are cosplays and stuff like that, dude, you want to get better at your craft. Go and learn a trade. It will teach you how to read tape measures down to the 32nd. It will teach you how to use power tools. It will teach you a lot of shit. Like, a lot of these guys I see, they use Dremels, and that's great. Dremels can do a lot.
They can.
But you go and do, like, a construction job as a small trade, you'll learn how to use so many different fucking tools out there and all the little tricks that you can do shit with just the few little tools that you would need to get a job done.
Sometimes I feel like that's why there are so many nerds these days. Is because all of those blue-collar jockey boys who learned all those trades because that's what their daddy told them to do. You know? They have the ability to do all the nerdy things now. So they're like, well, that kind of sounds fun, you know? And, you know, I'm a grown-up, so I can't play football anymore. So, like, maybe I might do that. And then they fall in love with it, and they realize, like, holy shit, I've been a nerd my whole life, and I just never got to do it because daddy told me to play football instead.
Hey, you know what? I am one of those guys.
I know.
I was one of those guys that when I had to go move in with my brother and stuff, he tried to treat me like a son, and he was really hard on me about a lot of shit. Taught me everything about tile. He taught me a lot of stuff. He made me play sports, which, granted, I fucking loved football. I loved it. I loved playing sports. It was so much fun. I lost a shit ton of weight doing it because I used to be that really nerdy fat kid. And I've gained a little bit of it back, but back in high school, I actually was very skinny. I loved it. And I was very in shape. But now I'm just like, you know what? I've got all these skills of working with tools and knowing how to do things. Now it's time for me to just go back to my roots and be that fucking nerd and make stuff. And like just yesterday, getting out my soldering iron to put a new battery pack in my lightsaber, so because I broke the one that was in it, fucking solder some new wires and shit in. Like, fuck it, you know? Like,
you said solder your freaking lightsaber.
I did. I fucking did.
Oh man,
but
no,
you know,
I like being.
But the one thing that I like, you were saying how it was a lot of these blue collar boys that were doing this stuff. If you notice some of the videos that I've been watching on YouTube to kind of figure out how some of these people are doing their crafts and how they're getting all this good results, most of them have been blue collar boys that you see on there. Like the one that we watched last night doing that Mando helmet. That was a blue collar boy just fucking like, hey, this is what I've been using. This is how I'm doing it. And you can tell he's got a ton of them back there that he's been doing. But he's a blue collar type boy that is a fucking nerd. And that's where I'm like, yeah, you're right on that. That's because these guys had to learn these trades back then. Well, I get it, guys. If you like video games and stuff like that, that's great. A lot of times, you need to go to computer class to do a lot of stuff, to program and shit. But
that's a trade.
It is. I'm not knocking it. What I'm saying is, you go and learn how to use a soldering gun. Learn how to fucking pull things apart and do all that kind of stuff. You can learn it there, but you're paying out a lot more than what you could at just going to get a regular, like, hands-on job at constructions or shit like that, or even doing it yourself. To where if you learned how to use a soldering gun, you could tear your fucking computer apart, put in that new fucking modem yourself without having to pay somebody else to fucking do it, you know? Like, a lot of our technology shit that we have around here, I fix myself because I can't afford to fucking send somewhere else. So, what do? Bust out the tools I need and fucking get to work. I don't know everything, okay? But I can look at something and be able to be like, oh, okay, yeah. To where now I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna do cosplay stuff. I'm gonna fucking make this kind of stuff because I've got the knowledge, know-how, and do all that.
I have a good example of that, too, in another genre. Music.
Oh?
I grew up listening to emo music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Total Scene Queen, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, no one in the high school, besides my friend group, listened to the music that we listened to.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm an adult, all of the same people I went to school with who made fun of me and my friends for listening to that music are like, oh, total nostalgia. When I was a young man.
Thank you.
Like, fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Because you made fun of me and my friends for listening to this shit in high school.
Yep. Because I remember that same fucking shit. I loved MCR. My Chemical Romance was one of my favorites as a teenager. Loved it. Because I was one of the... I wasn't allowed to dress like I wanted to, but I did get to listen to, like, Bullet for My Valentine, MCR, shit like that. Kill Switch Engage. I loved it.
Yeah, and then all these people who, like... were freaking bitches about us listening to that kind of music in school are out here singing those fucking lyrics. And I'm just like, how long have you known that song? Have you known it since high school, or did you recently listen to it?
Yeah, whether
but if you've heard it if you've known it since high school, you fucking cunt.
Well, and it's like, but like I remember people sitting there, like when I worked at KFC Taco Bell, and I would have my radio playing in the back whenever I was cooking chicken and shit. Fucking, it would have that shit come on there, and I'd have all the guys coming around like, "Oh my god, you're gay for listening to this and that."
Oh my god!
And then now I see them, and they're fucking listening to it, and I'm just like, "Go fuck yourself, you motherfucker!"
Yeah, I mean, okay. So what it did was like during Vine. You remember Vines?
Yeah, I remember Vines.
During Vines, it was a parody.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like a lot of people would dress emo to make fun of it, like, ooh, cringe, you know, like, oh, no one, like, oh, you remember that phase? Oh my gosh, I remember being like that. You weren't like that. You're making fun of it. You weren't like that. I've seen pictures of you from high school. I went to high school with you. You were preppy. You did not go through an emo phase, okay? Yeah. And then they're like, all like, they'll like dress all emo and stuff, making fun of it, and then they'll listen to the songs, and they're like, oh my god, yeah, I remember these songs. They're like, oh yeah, you know what? I really like this song. And then now it's in their freaking playlist, and they pretend it's been in their playlist since high school. Yeah. And I'm like, it wasn't. It wasn't. Like, it became cringe, you know, and everyone wanted to listen. Like, quotation marks, you can't see me, I forgot. Quotation marks, it became cringe during Vines, and then when TikTok came in, it became popular. Yeah. And then it was no longer cringe, it was nostalgic. And everyone's like, oh man, I love this song. I remember this from high school. I love it. No, you didn't.
Yeah, for real.
I remember getting booed at dances for requesting those goddamn songs, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember being in high school and, the Black Parade came out, but then the follow-up one to that song, Famous Last Words. Mm-hmm. I remember when that bitch was played on MTV.
Oh, that was such a good one.
And I remember going to the gym, working out, and they would have MTV playing, and when that song would come on, I'm like, fuck you, fucking pumping out and all. Like, man. Mm-hmm. So, but I remember all the other guys in the gym just like, oh, fuck, can we get on the other shit that's on here? And I'm like, man, fuck your booty bouncing bitch shit. I want this. Like, this is good pump music.
This is the angsty stuff. This is the stuff that gets you pumped.
Yeah. So
it's not all about booty bitches.
I know. And that's something that and that's something that I can always say is that before the nerds were popular, I was definitely an outcast kid in school. I mean, I knew everybody and everybody knew me, but...
You were still like that when I met you.
Yeah, but I mean, I was still outcasted to where I had this friend group that really not a lot of people hung out with, and I'd hang out with them, and that was kind of our thing. But, you know, at the end of the day, I was more happier being that way than I was trying to fucking be what everybody else was doing. It was better. And
I'm not saying like I was like people were mean to me or anything like that. Like I got along with everybody. So did you. Yeah. I'm not saying I was like picked on or bullied for my music type. I was booed. Boo, turn it. No, let me be angsty.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're gonna sit there and say, "Yeah, that's nostalgic for me," and I'm just like, "No, it's not. No, it's not." Because I knew you back then, and no, you never fucking were that because you used to make fun of those that did. So, don't be a fucking hypocrite, is what we're trying to fucking say.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Like, hey, if you liked Britney Spears back then, you still like her, fucking rocker. I don't give a fuck. But don't sit here and say, I was this way my entire life. Like, shut the fuck up. Because the ones that were that way, are the ones that are now still that fucking way.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah,
style may have changed, but they are still that way at heart. They can't break it.
Mm-hmm. And we got no reason to be that way anymore. It's just embedded into us.
Yep.
Like we have a friend who goes to a lot of those concerts still to this day, and she is still like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, you just can't get it out of you, man. It's a part of you now. If people act like it was a part of them the whole, like, no, that's new for you. That's new for you. That's new.
Yeah, if your only Fall Out Boy song you know is Dance Dance, then get out of here. And if your only Avenged Sevenfold song that you know is fucking Hail to the King, then you don't know a goddamn thing.
I'm trying
just
to like,
saying.
which one is he gonna say? Because I know so many.
No, I'm talking about like the ones that listen to more of their newer shit, and I'm like, yeah, their new stuff's not bad.
I will give a lot of my friends credit though, for in high school and all that, for introducing me to songs like that. Because being in a small town, I did grow up with country music.
Yeah.
So when I started hanging out with my friends and all that, and they listened to all those Bullets and A7X and Killswitch Engage and all that kind of stuff, they listened to that kind of music. I was just like, where's this been my whole life? This music understands me.
Yeah, see, growing up, my mom, all she listened to was Elvis and country and all that kind of stuff, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved sitting around listening to Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard and all that on vinyl with him, and that was so fun. I loved it, and I still love that music to this day.
I'm not saying that since I found my music that I listen to now that I don't still like some country music. I do love country music still. There are still a lot of songs on my playlist. We listen to everything.
Yeah, but I remember, and I can remember the year, I can remember the song, I can remember
You're
the...
so weird.
it was right when we first moved to Oregon in 1999. And I had to go to this babysitter's house because I was still a kid. Mm-hmm. We had to go. Me and my sister had to go there. Her husband had a 1986 IROC Camaro. All right, and he just got done working on it. And he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go for a test ride. Would you like to go along?" I'm like, "Sure." Fucking, he took the T-tops off. Fucking turned on his radio, and we go fucking flying down the highway at 80 miles, 90 miles an hour. Fucking jamming out to Highway to Hell by AC/DC. And that moment,
it was like, whoa.
I was just like, who the fuck is this? And he's just like, oh man. So he started introducing me to all these songs, Ozzy Osbourne and all that. And I'm like, okay. And then as I started getting into my teenage years, it became more of like Blink-182, Sum 41. And then all of a sudden it turned into, yes, I am an ICP fan, so ICP, MCR, fucking Avenged Sevenfold, Kill Switch, shit like that.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
No. I was not a Jackson 5 person. I mean, I knew their songs, but I wasn't a big Jackson 5 fan.
No, I was just...
I know, but some people would be like, so you saying Jackson 5? No.
No, I was just trying to be funny. I didn't realize that was a song. My bad.
Yeah, ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no.
Oh, my
so, yes, I do know the songs, but I was never a huge fan of... I was a fan of Michael. I did like Michael. I thought he had some great shit, but, I mean, it just really wasn't my shit, you know. Unlike some of, like, my brother and all that, which, yet again, taught me some good music, too, of, like, Tupac, Biggie, and... a lot of the good gangster rap that was back in the day, to where I hear it nowadays, I'm just saying... doesn't hit the same. Some of the songs that if I listen to nowadays, I like it for the beat. I don't even care for the lyrics. I think some of the lyrics are just overdone and really stretching compared to the beat itself. Unlike back in the day where the beats weren't always the greatest, but the lyrics is what really got you. And
yeah.
That's where I'm at. Because there's some songs that I'm just like,
Yeah, some songs are just meant for the beat, and some songs are meant for you to hear the lyrics. I'm huge about lyrics. I think that's why I liked angsty music back in the day. Like emo music and stuff, because, like, we were teenagers and we thought the world was falling apart around us and everyone was out to get us.
Well, actually, back then, the world was falling apart. We were dealing with a lot of shit as a country, as a nation back then that... To us, everything was falling apart. We had 9/11 that happened, and then we go into war. Well, we were teenagers during that time, and that was a lot of fucking people, our family and shit, just like hating on everything, and like everybody was evil and shit. Like, so yeah, our worlds were falling apart from where they were, from being this happy, colorful fucking imaginative world to now everything's evil, everything's dark, we all need to be shut-ins and yeah, our world.
You just described all the teenagers now.
No, these teenagers now, they have it a lot better than what we did, because
yeah, and our parents said that then to us.
Well, which is true, but they do have a lot more options now if they would actually just get the fuck outside and go do something and actually put their phone down.
Literally what our parents said to us.
We were forced to be outside. We weren't allowed to stay. If we got to stay inside, that was fucking great. That's why a lot of us millennials are staying inside nowadays, because we own the fucking house. We own the water faucet. We own the yard. We're just like, you know what? We got forced out there. We're staying in. We own this AC. We're fucking using it.
And you know what? Our parents were right, man. AC is expensive. The water can get expensive. You know what? We're not cooling down the whole neighborhood.
Exactly. So, yeah, us millennials want to do that. That's fine. But you know what? Send your fucking kid out there. Be like, you know what? Go. Get outside.
I know it's 110 degrees. I don't give a fuck. Get out there.
Although, bit of advice. Give you about 10 seconds when you turn that water hose on, or, well, you'll just find out.
You'll burn your lips off.
No, man, we were watching that nostalgic video the other day, and that was so much fun, of like seeing all the old school toys and stuff like that. And I was just like, man.
Oh my god, I remembered so much of it when we did that.
Oh man, yeah, it was so nostalgic. It was just like, holy fuck, I remember that one. And I love those that come across my reels of nostalgic commercials and shit. That I'm just like, man, take me back. Don't take me back though, because I don't want to relive some of that shit. So,
yeah, when people say take me back, I'm like, you know what? I mean, it wasn't bad, but I like now because I'm in control of right now.
Man, what was I watching the other day? Oh, I was watching the Mayans, and a guy said it pretty fucking well on there. That was very good and very helpful. And he said it very, very, very well done, very well portrayed. And it was Alvarez talking to one of his old-time friends that was there with him in the beginning and all that kind of shit, right? And Alvarez pops off of like, yeah, it just seems a lot easier back then. And his friend looked at him and said, no, it wasn't. Those moments were hard. Every moment we've dealt with was hard. Mm-hmm. It just seems easier now because we passed it.
Yeah, because we got past it, and we know now how to get past it. Yeah. But at the time, no.
Yeah.
It was not easier.
I was just like, man, way to actually put it in perspective for those that want to be nostalgic. Like,
I like that he put that in words, but I did realize that not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Because it was right before your accident. Mm-hmm. And we were doing good, right? Mm-hmm. But we didn't know we were doing good. We were like, man, it's been so rough lately. And then we would think back, be like, man, we thought it was rough then. But, you know, I would go back. I would love to struggle like we did 2 years ago, you know? Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't that bad. And then the accident happened. And I realized, man, right before the accident, I was complaining about how bad it was. Mm-hmm. And now it actually is bad. And then I was saying how bad it was before, but that was easier than now. And here I am doing it again. But I'm just like, you know what? It was hard in that moment. In that moment, it was hard, and we were struggling. And it was putting a lot of strain on us. And that's the hard part, is it putting the strain on you. Like, you letting it get to you so badly. And I think that's why we're, like, because we're technically struggling now. But we feel better now than we have in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we are struggling. We are trying to get through this so I can get back to work, but it's not near. Yeah, it's not near as emotionally hard than what it was several years ago, when we thought we were struggling, and it was just because we weren't the greatest with our finances. Now we're better. I mean, we're not the greatest, but
we're better. We're more responsible with finances now, and we're not letting things get to us as badly. Or we're trying not to, anyway.
Right, because I mean, we looked at it just last night of like how we're not in debt. We're not in massive debt like some of our friends. We're not dealing with a lot of things that a lot of our people that we know are going through, and yet we're sitting here just like our world's in shambles. even though we're actually doing a lot better than what we think we are, and we're doing all right.
Yeah, I have to remind myself that we are doing a lot better than my mind thinks we are.
Yeah, because even our friends are like, dude, how the fuck are y'all doing this? What are y'all doing? And it's like,
I know, yeah.
When
people say that shit, I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean? We're not doing anything. They're just like, well, you just have your shit together, and you're not like, panicking. You're not, on the street. You're not. I'm like, you know what? I'm not. You're right. I am. I actually am doing good. But, like, I don't feel like I am. I don't see that I am.
Yeah.
So, but I did in that moment. I did after they said that. I was like, you know what? You're right. I am doing good for where I am in life is really good. Because someone else in my exact same situation would not be.
Yeah. No, that's true. And we're doing all right. We're doing a lot better. Millennials, man, guys, we've got to really let go of our past and kind of move forward and try to enjoy it. Like, I get it. It was so much fun when we were kids. We did a lot of cool stuff. We've shown videos of toys that we had as kids to our kids, and they're just like, dude, those are so cool. There's nothing like that anymore. I'm like, I know. Oh,
and something I've realized recently too. Speaking of gotta let that shit go. We are at an age where we can no longer blame our parents.
Nope.
Like, I'm sorry, but you've been an adult a long time now. I know it probably doesn't feel like it, but you've been an adult long enough to where shit in your life is not your parents' fault anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's time to let that shit go, man.
Once you reach the age of 25, it's no longer your parents' fault.
No, because you've only been an adult for like 6 years.
It's enough for you to start getting yourself in order of what you want to do. If you're in college, of where you want to get your degree and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're 25, you should you should definitely have your plan figured out. But by the time you're 30, you can't blame your parents anymore.
Yeah, and that's why I say 25 is when you really need to stop blaming them and figure out what you need to do. You need to
start doing what you're going to do with your life.
Because I get it. Some people are still living with their parents and they're still doing all that kind of stuff, which is okay. I get it. I mean, it sucks, but, I wish I could live off of my parents. But
I have to remember that's your choice. You chose to still live with them.
Right.
So it's not
at the age of 25,
fault.
You should have a good plan of attack of what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, so, but just millennials, like, really got to let it go. Like, really got to just say, okay, shit happened, whether it was good or bad or any of that, just let it go and move the fuck on and actually try to be productive for our society. I know that the fucking boomers and all that really fucked our economy up and all, which,
we're not saying, like, we're not saying, like, you're not allowed to have panic attacks anymore.
No.
You're not allowed to have anxiety anymore. Like, we're not saying that at all. We're just saying, like, you can't let that stop you anymore.
Yeah. Quit letting that be quit letting that be in the cinder blocks around your ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking.
Like, oh, well, I have panic attacks or I have anxiety and all that. Like, I don't want to do that stuff anymore. Well, like, there's some stuff, you shouldn't do anymore. But we're saying, like, responsible things to make your life move forward. Things that you want to do, with your life. And you're like, well, I'm scared to do those things because I'm scared. Like, you can't let that be the thing in the way anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? Life is scary. Every second of your being right now, something is scaring you from doing something.
Yeah, because I'm literally
take it on.
Yeah, I'm taking my own advice right now too, because I start a new job tomorrow. And I haven't worked in a hot minute. I've been a lovely stay-at-home mom. So I'm starting a new job tomorrow, and I've been having anxiety about it and all that. So I am taking my own advice right now and be like, you know what? I can't let that stop me anymore. I can't let that be the fear. Because, you haven't worked in so long, you won't be able to do anything, and you'll be worthless and all that. And I gotta quit letting. I'll be like, you know what? What if I actually am really good at this? What if it actually is a fun job?
Now, something that I would say that would help you guys out is, remember that thing that we had to have all the time as a kid, but now we've kind of lost because of technology?
What?
Oh, imagination.
No, I've always had that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of people probably have lost it because they're now just on TikTok and all that kind of shit. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's implement the imagination, the creativity that we had. That if we're so stuck on nostalgia and all this and that, let's bring that creativity, imagination to today to show these kids what we had. You guys remember those fucking Power Rangers that used to be able to flip their back and their head would flip from their regular head to their helmet?
Yeah,
the Transformers that actually fucking were little micro cars that would turn into actual Transformers.
I had the spider.
That's what I'm saying is, let's bring shit like that to reality again. Show what these kids are missing out. Like, yeah, your phones and all that is so cool. I fucking get it. But it's not as cool as actually doing something with your fucking hand and making it do something.
I got one. What are those little like things that we used to make?
Oh God, the fucking fortune tellers.
The fortune teller little things where you fold the paper and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like, if you got kids, when is the last time? Like, have you even taught your kids how to do origami? Have you taught your kids little things to do with their hands yet? You know, things that you did.
You know, I remember.
Have you done anything nostalgic with your children? Like,
I remember that commercial back in the day, and I know a lot of millennials will remember this one. The game night commercials. Go buy you a board game. Get your kids and say, hey, hand me your fucking phone. Take it away from them for an hour.
Yeah, and you can make that shit. And you can make that shit modern, too. Like, we got, like, a shooting ladders Bingo and Bluey version.
Yeah.
And the kids loved it. They cannot wait to play Bingo and Bluey.
Mm-hmm.
And all it is shoot some ladders.
See, I've been wanting to get this one for a while, and I want to show my kids how frustrated they will get. It's not Monopoly.
Oh.
No.
Which one?
It's Sorry.
Oh, but we love that one.
Oh, I loved Sorry.
We have the old one at Mimi's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. They play it. They love that game.
Oh, yeah. I fucking love that game. But that's what I'm saying is I remember those commercials, and I think they came out in the wrong time. I think those commercials need to come back today of the go outside and play, where the children channels would shut down for 2-3 hours to make kids go out and do exercise.
Annoying, but I remember that.
Yeah. And then the fucking game night commercials. I think that they put those out too soon, thinking it was us millennials that had this problem when it's actually the newer generation that's actually having the main problem.
Yeah, they should have never gotten rid of that, period.
They shouldn't have. I think that
they should at least still play those commercials. Like, hey, go outside and play.
Yeah, be more active. Do all this and that. And if they do, it's because we don't have the Dish Direct and all that to where they're forced.
Literally, they have that on TikTok that says, stop scrolling. It's time for bed.
Yeah.
They should have a stop scrolling and go outside. Go get some fresh air, you know? Mm-hmm. 30 minutes.
Which is so weird because if the Chinese people run it and they're so strict on their people, it's like, hey, why don't you guys shut the app down twice a day?
About our country.
Well, I mean, but it's a lot of their people that watch it too. So it's like, well, why don't you guys just shut the app down twice a day?
They probably do over in their country.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, it would be one of those of, like, get back into living the moment, or for them, get back to work.
Get back to work.
But no,
I mean, racist.
It was so on key. So honestly, guys, I'm just saying, like, there's nothing wrong with being nostalgic. I am a nostalgic motherfucker. I love reliving some of the stuff I had as a kid and things. It's so much fun. But
we know how hard it is to do with your kids, man.
I
mean, like, we literally made our kid sit down and watch a Star Wars movie with us, and she freaking cried.
Well, no, she threw a fit at first, but by the time the movie was over, she was crying and was like, "That was so good. That was
wow."
She
cried at the beginning because she's like, parents suck. Can't believe they're gonna make me watch this stupid fucking movie. And then halfway through the movie, like, we look over at her and she's just like leaning in, her mouth open, like, "Oh my god, no way."
Yeah, and it was because she used to talk so much shit about Star Wars, and I'm like, look, I know that you like your anime, that's great, but just look at this as a live-action anime, and all this and that. And by the time it was over, you know, because we made her watch episode 3, so we all know how it was going to end. But by the time we got done watching it, she's sitting there crying, just like, I can't believe he fell, I can't believe he killed those kids, I can't believe that his wife's gone, and like, she just sat there and was just like, okay. That was better than I thought it would be. And I'm like, no shit. But no, guys, it's okay to be nostalgic, but do something with it. Make something out of it. Relive some memories with friends, family, shit like that, or create something. just do something besides sitting here going, I wish we was like this again, or I wish
we're not
we
saying
could go
we
back.
don't do that shit.
No, yeah, I mean, we do, but a lot of times we're sitting here just like, ooh, you know what, I can make something out of that.
Yeah,
or, hey, let's go take our kids go do this. Like,
yeah.
Like laser tag. I remember laser tag being a hot fucking commodity back in the 90s
and now
2000s.
you gotta find a pop-up place. It's not just, you can't just go do it. Ooh, I want to take them roller skating. Like, I'm gonna go to a roller rink really bad.
Yeah, fucking roller ring, bowling alley, shit like that.
We've taken them bowling. They do like bowling and all that, but they have not been to a roller rink yet, and I would love to take them to a roller rink.
Yep. Yeah, so guys, don't sit here and say that you're nostalgic, but you're not willing to go nostalgic. Like, just find that creativity again.
Just do it anyway.
Yeah, just find that creativity again and bring it back to life for yourself to where you could actually start to feel like you're younger again. And guess what? Feeling like you're younger again isn't going to take away a lot of the pain, but it's going to make you fucking get more active to do more things.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of millennials are actually, like, I think we're all really good parents. Because we didn't get a chance to do all those fun kid stuff because, like you said, we all had to grow up really fast. We all had to get, like, grow up, mature, So now that we all have kids, like, it gives us an excuse to do the kid stuff, and we realize how fun it is. And you know what? We have adult money. We can do kid stuff at any time we fucking want to.
I know. That's so fun.
Like, we don't need. And then some of the people are even realizing you don't need kids to do kid stuff anymore. And
unless you're going to Legoland, you need to take your kids. Do not go in there.
Don't go to Legoland without a kid because they will not let you in.
I mean, you can go to Disneyland, but don't go to Legoland by yourself.
Yeah, you can be a Disney adult. That's fine.
Yeah, and that's something that I've realized is Disney has actually shifted from being about kids nowadays. Which, if they are doing stuff for kids, it is the most stupidest, goofy, fucking like over the top,
expensive,
childish bullshit. To where they're like, yeah, your kid's like 10, but we're still giving them stuff that is for 3-year-olds. That's all they're getting. But adults, hey, we got Hogwarts Land. We got Star Wars Galaxy.
Yeah,
We've got Marvel World.
Yeah, they know. That's really good marketing, man. Market towards the people with the money.
Exactly. To where we can go in there and be like, well, if you guys don't like it, fuck it. I ain't got to buy you a goddamn thing. Give me that $600 lightsaber up there. I'm going to take that sumbitch home with me. Oh, can I trade my kid for this R2-D2? Sweet.
My God.
I'm just saying, like, and that's where I'm like, guys, if you want to relive some stuff, you can, but hey, it's okay to get out there in the workforce and learn new trades, do something, make that money to go do that shit. Stop being so depressed. And honestly,
stop being so depressed. You can't just say it like that.
I can't. Honestly, if you are that depressed, go seek medical help. All right, number 1. Number 2. Get out there and fucking make some money. Go spend it on yourself to make yourself happy. Number 3, lay off the alcohol, all right? Lay off the mind-numbing stuff. That's not helping. I have cut back on so much of my drinking where I used to be a 30-pack a night guy to where now I just had like 6 beers the other night and I
Didn't like it at all.
I didn't. I was just like, oh, Lord, I fucking hated it. I was down most of the day.
I have a freaking bottle of vodka in the refrigerator. Mm-hmm. That's been sitting there for like 3 weeks. And I can down a whole bottle of vodka in one night if I wanted to.
Right.
But now I'm just like, every time I look in there, I'm just like, no.
Yeah. So just back off of all the mind-numbing sedatives out there and let your creation come back. Let it come back and flow and let you just fucking use that adult money, your hard-earned money for fucking cool little shit. If you want a Power Ranger watch, go get you a fucking Power Ranger watch. That's all I'm saying. Like,
you have so many spouses mad right now.
Ladies.
I'm not talking about just ladies, because
men.
All of them.
I'm sitting here telling you all, the happier they are by buying those stupid things, they might buy you something, or you might get some good fucking leeway on other shit. I'm just saying, because they're gonna be like, hey, can I wear this fucking Kylo Ren mask to bed and fuck you in it? Yeah. Oh yeah, you about to get pounded like I was Kylo Ren.
Sorry.
I'm gonna tell you, take my hand. I'm just saying.
So stupid.
But
I'm gonna tell you to take my hand. I'm so sorry. I don't even know why it was so funny.
That's all I'm saying, though, is you might actually get it, the more that you can let them be happy, the more that they're going to go out of their way to make you happy at the same time, because they're going to be like, hey, I'm so happy now, it's time to make them happy. Okay, and if you are constantly just on that person and wanting them to do this, then maybe that person needs to really look at you and be like, do I really want to continue to be with you if you're not willing to let me to be happy?
I'll be honest to be like, if you are that person that's looking at your spouse and is like, why do you keep buying all this stupid stuff? Like, they're like, because it makes me happy. Like, what is it that's not making you happy? Like, why are you bitching? Like, what would make you happy and all that?
Well, I want to be able to go and do this and that. Hey,
well,
go get a job.
Oh.
Go get a job.
Go make some side money so you can go do
exactly.
all that
That's all I'm saying. Go get your own fucking source of money. If your spouse is the main provider and he's going working 40 to 60 hours a paycheck to fucking make the...
we're not saying that he doesn't pay the bills first. You know?
Right.
Like, he's being responsible, but he's got a little extra income and he wants to go buy him some nerdy shit.
Yeah, and that's all.
Or
I'm
her,
saying. Yeah,
if she makes the money.
I'm just saying. If that person is doing all that, and you're just in here like, why are you buying that stupid shit? If you're jealous about it, go do it yourself too. Because for one, you're gonna help bring in more income into your household for the both of you, and you'll be able to sit here and say, hey, you know what? Don't worry about you. If you're covering the bills, don't worry about me. I'm gonna go buy my own shit. I got it. I got myself. You know, don't sit here and belittle somebody and then fucking be like, well, you never do anything for me. Hey, if I'm having to do it for myself, you can do it too. It's a compromise. But that's for our toxic fucking topic that's on our live, laugh, and red flags. You can go check that shit out. I mean,
like, it's not really toxic. It's just something they need to talk about.
You do, but a good alternative is just find a way to make your own little source of money to buy shit. You know, I mean, you do it. Yeah. Sage, you do it. I mean...
Yeah, I know. Like, you like to buy your stuff, and I like to make stuff.
Well, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I've given you money to help out with a lot of that stuff, but a lot of times the money I give you, you'll turn around, buy something, make something, sell it, and then make more money to go buy more shit. So it's one of those. You kind of took what I gave you to invest it into your own little profit shit. I mean,
yeah.
So that's all we're saying. Oh man, put down the alcohol, guys. Go ahead and grab you a bag of cotton candy and put on some fucking Rugrats and just kick back and enjoy the rest of your day, okay? If you can, just sit back, relax, and just kick it. But
you go watch some cartoons today.
If you guys have liked our videos and our podcast alone, go ahead and leave us a like, give us a share. We'd love for your friends and family to find out who we are, because they may like or not like us, and we don't give a shit either way, because we're going to continue to do what we're doing. But if
definitely subscribe too.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to, go ahead and subscribe and come follow us for more videos that will be coming out, or catch up. I mean, we got other videos out there already. And leave us a comment down below of what is something that is nostalgic for you, whether it's a smell, a sight, or something that you just like doing as a kid that you still are just like, yep, I still do it to this day kind of thing, just so you can relive moments in your head of memories. And other than that, if you're out there living life, man, just do the best you can. Make each day as important as it's your last, and fuck it up, Buttercup, because I've said what I said.
Kika.